I decided just to use a hot plate today so we could just stay right here in front of one another instead of moving y'all over to the stove and back. I'm always making y'all move around my kitchen, aren't I? I'm gonna turn this little eye on. It's just a little countertop thing. First I want to do, this is something I love to put on top of pumpkin soup because it's very good for us. You could put croutons, you put nothing if you want to. But these little pepitas or pumpkin seeds, you can find them in the grocery stores now. Any of your like Mexican areas, you know, you'll have an end cabinet full of these pumpkin seeds. And they're great on top of our pumpkin soup. So, I'm going to get these onto my baking sheet. Let me grab my scissors real quick. Rather than sit here and fight with this little baggie, right? I love the little crunch this gives to our pumpkin soup on top. You don't have to put anything if you don't want to. On top of this, I'm going to put some olive oil. Y'all say I did 2 packages because I can store these and eat them all week on my pumpkin soup for lunch. I've got sea salt. I order this a lot of times if I can't find it in the store. It's really good on there, just a little sprinkle. I'm going to put a little bit more olive oil. And my oven is 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to put these in there and let them be roasting for us for about 20 minutes or so, just till they're toasty, and then we'll get started on our soup. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, this soup is actually really good for us. It really feeds us. Everything in here is really good for us, so it's a great lunch. It can be vegetarian as well, so that's really good for lots of us. Not my husband, not John Murray. He would not agree. But I love something like this for lunch. So this is what I'll have working in the office, and I can grab it real quick. Y'all see I'm putting some olive oil. And I'm going to put just a little bit of butter because it tastes really lovely in pumpkin soup. Yes, it does. My girlfriends and I had this in Europe. Everywhere we go, a lot of us would get this. So I thought I want to show them how easy it is to make right here at home and feed ourselves really well. That was a shallot. Let me show y'all a shallot. This is what I find them in my grocery stores, is little containers like this. And they're near the onions that are, you know, out on the shelf for you. And they're a little lavender colored onion. And the reason why I use them, you'll see, let me peel that shell off. You see how he's lavender? I use a shallot because it's very mild in flavor, and I don't want onion to really take over my pumpkin soup, y'all know? So that just gives it a nice little mild flavor. So I hope you can find you a shallot. If not, you might could just do a little sprinkle of onion powder if you wanted to speed it up a little more. This is just 1 carrot I chopped. You see, everything in here is so good for us. I know, I love it. I want to soften these things first. And let's see here, let me get a little wooden spoon so I won't make lots of noise on us. Everything we put in here, in the end, if you don't want bits of carrots and you don't want bits of onion, no worries, because we're going to blend it, okay? So it's going to be a nice, creamy, smooth little soup. And it's so very comforting. I just love it. Love it, love it. When we think of pumpkin, we think of sweet, you know, because we're used to pumpkin pie. But this is a savory little soup. So don't let that, don't think of sweet. Think of savory pumpkin. And you know, pumpkin is a squash, isn't it? Yes, it is. And you can bake your own pumpkin. And then you can get all the seeds out and you can roast those seeds. And then you can bake the pumpkin, and then you can remove all the meat. I need to get back in the office, okay? So I'm going to skip that part today, and they did all that work for me right here in this can of pumpkin. And when you get it, just make sure it says 100% pure pumpkin and not pumpkin pie filling, okay? That's the only thing. I'm going to let these carrots get nice and softened because I'm going to blend them later, so I want them to be good good and done, right? Some other things I'm going to put in here is minced garlic. Just a little, just a teaspoon of it. Seriously, not much at all. I get it pre-minced when I'm in a quick mad dash hurry. That always comes in good. Ginger is also just like this. Ginger is good for us. Garlic is good for us. I'm telling you, this is a nourishing, very nourishing soup. And I love it. I just did a little teaspoon of that ginger as well. If you don't have ginger, but you've got everything else, don't not make it, okay? Make it, because it's still going to be delicious. So don't let that stop you at all. But I keep it in that little container, and I put it in many things. I love ginger, though. Ginger's so very good for us as well. My friend Sandy told me it was real good for arthritis and joint health, and so many things are. And like I say, this whole little soup is so good for us. We had this soup atop a 3-story department store like when we were kids. You know, you'd go in a department store and it went up. You had to get on the elevator or go up the stairs. And when you got to the top of this department store, it was in Switzerland, they had a cafe up there, and they had so much food it was hard to choose from. We were like little kids trying to make a decision. One of the things we got, though, was pumpkin soup. It looked so good and so comforting, and it was a cool day, and we ate rooftop. I did post that picture, and I did a quick little video saying hi that. Okay, these have probably softened pretty good, so we will move on to our next step. Chicken broth, and this is the part where I love the chicken broth, but if you want to stay vegetarian, of course, some vegetable broth, right? Yeah. Of course. That would be perfect. And then our can of pumpkin. So good. You could also roast butternut squash and add in here as well. Like I say, I'm doing this as my quick lunch for the day, so I'm going to let them do all my work for me, and I sure appreciate it. Thank you very much. We're going to do a little sprinkle of salt. That's strictly kind of like you're seasoning those vegetables we just sauteed, okay? And some pepper, because our chicken broth's got salt in it, right? And our pumpkin, we're going to season our pumpkin. And then I'm going to put a little cinnamon in mine. Now, cinnamon, again, you're going to say, well, that is sweet. But it's not. It's not cinnamon sugar. It's just cinnamon. And it adds a real nice, deep little flavor. Cinnamon's very good for us, too. So we're just nourishing ourselves today, aren't we? Maybe 1/4 teaspoon, okay? It smells so good. It smells so comforting. Cinnamon reminds me of a warm blanket and a fire going. I love the smell of cinnamon. Do y'all? All right, let's see here. It's looking pretty, isn't it? Now, you also could do some things like a sage leaf in here. You could put a little sage. You can kind of morph this little pumpkin soup to whatever you want it to be, because it's all going to be good and scrumptious. I'm going to heat this through and through. My little, I struggle because this is electric heat. And I love that gas fire. And if I could redo my kitchen, I'd be like my mama. She'd always say, when I get rich and famous. So my mama said that all the time. So when I get rich and famous, I'm going to redo. And my island's also going to have a gas stove top in it. When I get rich and famous, right? She said that all the time. It was funny. It was a thing we said in the family. All right. This already smells so delightful. Okay, it's finally starting to go. I'm going to get some, you can do milk, you can do cream, or you can do half and half. I'm going to do half and half, and I'm going to do the juice of a lemon. Let me grab my half and half. I'm going to put about a 1/2 cup, and that's another thing. You can do a whole cup of milk or cream, and half and half is half milk, half cream. So I love that. I love to keep this in the refrigerator if somebody's here drinking coffee. That's really good in there. I don't let myself have that anymore because I'm trying to cut back. I'm always trying to cut myself back. But I finally was able to do black coffee, so I'm going to stay with that. Once you do that, though, you don't want anything in your coffee anymore. So that's a good thing, right? My mama and my aunt, her sister Trudy, they always drank black coffee, and my grandmother, and I just didn't know how they did it, but John drank black coffee working on an oil rig because they didn't have extravagant things like sugar and creamer. And he came home and he said, once I did that, I'm used to it. I don't want anything anymore. Well, then my son Blake did the same thing. He said, Mama, do it for about 2 weeks and you're not going to want it anymore. So I tried it. I struggled through for about 2 weeks, and I'll be doggone, they weren't lying. And you see it made a real pretty color putting that half and half. And so, yeah, now I just drink black coffee, but it is good with some half and half in it. Yes, it is. My sister Renee likes that if she comes, so I try to keep it. The lemon, what it does, besides be real good for us, right, with some vitamin C, it also brightens any flavor. I don't care what you put lemon in. I know y'all always see me doing this, my jellies, everything, but it brightens, enhances the flavors almost kind of like salt does, except it's not salty, so that's even better, right? It's an acid, but it really brings out the flavors. So I love it, and I just put like half a lemon in there of juice. You can do a little lemon zest if you wanted to, because we are going to blend it, right? All right, I'm going to put the lid on just for a few minutes. Give me time. Let's taste it. Y'all, I have to say, this is much more flavorful than the pumpkin soup that we had rooftop in Switzerland, and we got it somewhere else as well. So yes, definitely homemade it. You'll see how quick it was. You know, and you can dress this soup up or you could dress it down. You know, you can serve it as a first course or a soup course if you're having a dinner party, or of course you would probably double it, or you could just do like me, and I'm just going to throw it in a bowl and microwave it and scurry on back to the office upstairs and eat my soup. So you certainly could do any of it. Okay, now I told y'all we're going to blend it so it'll be smooth and creamy and not have chunks of onion and carrot and such as that. And you could leave it like that, but we're not gonna. Now you can put it in a blender. Make sure you've got that lid on really tight and blend it because it's hot. I don't want you to burn yourself. Or I've got an immersion blender. And y'all, I got this one $20, maybe $29 on Amazon a while back. It's just a simple little one. That's all I need. I'm a home cook, right? It just goes together just like that. And it's got a lock down here that you turn it to lock it or unlock it. And of course I can't tell. And then it's got your speeds, 1 or 2. I don't know what it is. I'm going to plug this in and we're going to blend this and we're going to enjoy us some good soup. All right, just that easy. You'll hear it and then you turn it up. It does like that. I ordered this from Amazon, so if y'all want to get one, I will put that in the link because I know y'all are going to be asking me about it. Okay, I see it's nice and bubbling. Can y'all hear it bubbling? Woo, it's hot. All right, you be careful, okay? One thing about an immersion blender, if you get it sideways, it's going to sling it out and burn you, okay? Those would be my famous last words, right? Let's see, I'll use this for a shield. I want mine totally creamy, so I'm going to really get in there in every little nook and cranny. We finished before our pepitas toasted in the oven. They've got a few minutes. Give me time to get cleaned up. wish y'all could smell this so much. It smells so very good. All right, I'm gonna get cleaned up and I'll get those pumpkin seeds out and we'll have us a bowl. Y'all see how they toasted? Looks good, doesn't it? Yes. I'm always burning myself because I've got to taste it right now, It brings out a wonderful little nutty flavor. Yes, it does. Put this here. Let me get us a bowl and a spoon. I turn this little burner off and it is still bubbling. Can you see how smooth? Creamy and smooth. If you want it to have more milk or cream, of course you could double that, but I just do a little. Just a little. You see, this is perfect, and you can double this recipe very easily and enjoy that. Y'all think these are cool enough? Not really. Y'all ready? You ready for a bite? I'll give y'all the first bite. Can y'all see how beautiful? I know y'all want a little pumpkin seed with it, right? Yum! It still looks hot too, doesn't it? Whew. It does. I hope my girlfriends are watching, because if they make this one, they won't like a store-bought one again. It's packed full of flavor. So full of flavor. I'm going to eat this for lunch. I'm in the office a lot this month, getting ready for taxes, all our businesses. So this is going to comfort me and push me on through. All right, y'all. I got to get there. Quit talking about it and get there, huh? So I'll see y'all really soon next time. Bye-bye.